So today I'm here with Cakes for Cause, correct?
Correct.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Karen Wendelin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Marcia Kuhn.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Morgan.
How are you guys today?
Very good.
Good.
Okay, so what exactly is Cakes for Cause?
Okay, well, Cakes for Cause is a fundraiser that the Piqua Community Foundation has been doing every year since 2006. It's a fundraiser, but it's also kind of a community event. It brings people in the community together out at the Miami Valley Center Mall to take a look at a bunch of really cool cakes, which are then auctioned off to the community.
And what is the date and time and place for the event?
This year it is Friday, April 27th. The bidding will start right around noon. Excuse me. And also Thursday night on the 26th, all the cakes will be there and set up, and we have like a silent bidding. Like we have sheets there and people can put in bids on the cakes that are there. We also that night have an auction. We have an actual auctioneer that comes,
Right.
and we have 2 or 3 cakes that we auction off that night. And it's really exciting. People really get into that. It's fun.
That's pretty cool. And we always like to tell people, if you have never seen 70 or 80 cakes in one place at one time, it's really visually just a very cool experience to come out and look at them. But all the cakes get there on Thursday, and on Friday when that auction starts about noon, the cakes start going home with their new owners. So if you want to see all of them, don't wait until Friday afternoon, because they'll start to be gone. So you want to come out Thursday, anytime after
Right
5
around
o'clock.
5.
Yeah, all the cakes are there, or anytime Friday morning up until noon, and then we start the other auction.
And
Yeah.
we also get a lot of people that's out walking at the mall or shopping at the mall. While we're putting the cakes out, they'll stop and they'll look at them. It's very enjoyable.
So do you guys do it in the big open part in the food court?
Well, no, it's not in the food court, but it is in the open part. It's out in the concourse, right in front of Bath and Body Works.
Oh, okay.
In that section, and then usually the mall's nice enough to let us use an empty storefront kind of across from Bath and Body Works, where we can actually have all of our paperwork and get the auction bids and that sort of stuff. So it's right there.
And how does Cakes for a Cause work?
Okay, well, in Cakes for a Cause, anybody that wants to can enter a cake. So an individual person, a business, a nonprofit. We even have a youth division for people 18 and younger. And anybody that wants to can decide ahead of time that they want to enter a cake, and they just need to let us know at the Community Foundation office that they're going to do that. So probably by the time this airs, it might be too late to put a cake in, but anybody that wants to can be part of it. And then along with their cake, they also enter an incentive. And the incentive is kind of like a prize that comes with the cake. So that if I would put a cake in and you would bid on my cake, you not only get the cake, but you get whatever comes with it. And usually that's what people really are after. Because, hey,
that really
yes.
drives the bidding up.
yeah, cake is good, but what people really want is generally what comes with it. And so during the auction, as Marcia said, on Thursday night, we'll take a couple of cakes that have really special incentives, and we'll auction those at a live auction with an auctioneer. And then the rest of the cakes are all divided into time slots from 12 noon until 5 o'clock on Friday. So on our website, piquacommunityfoundation.org, or we'll have papers at the mall, at various places around town where you can pick up and get the whole list of all the cakes. But each one's assigned to a certain time slot. So if, let's say there's a cake with an incentive that you really want to bid on, you don't have to listen to the bid for the whole 5 hours. You'll know that your cake is going to be, let's say, 2 o'clock. Between 2 o'clock and 2:20, you would listen. We are on the radio live with WPTW, and you can also stream through WPTW. And you call a number which is 778-3422, and we have a bank of telephones with operators ready to take your bid on whatever cake it is during that 20-minute period. So you basically can listen in, or if you don't have the option to listen, but you can call in, you can just call in and ask what's the high bid on cake 27 right now, and place your bid that way. And then if you get the high bid, you'll get a call back, and our volunteers will tell you how to, where to go to pick the cake up and pay for it and all that kind of stuff.
And you can pay by credit card also.
So you don't have
Cash
to
or
be there,
credit
you
card.
can still bid through the phone, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's a good point, is that you can actually bid live at the mall if you are able to be at the mall during that
We have
time.
a TV set up so you can watch the bidding on the TV
Oh, okay.
from the mall.
That's a good idea. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about incentives.
Oh, those are fun. Those are fun. Last year we had a ride on the Cincinnati Dinner Train, a riverboat cruise, which that really went over very well.
It did.
Had dinner and overnight stays, flowers each month for a year. You get gift baskets, cards. This year we have 8 tickets for the Dayton Dragons with 2 parking passes down at Fifth Third Field. We have a $100 gift certificate from Barclays. And we also have a $100 gift certificate for the Coldwater Cafe from McCullough, Felger, Fike, Gutman, LPAs. So
And
they're
yes.
coming in, and we even have a few more. I'd like to mention the Hotel Library Alliance is giving use of the turret room on a weekday, which is really nice if somebody would want to have some kind of gathering, luncheon or bridal shower or something. We have Beppo, $50 gift certificate to Beppo. Unos. Yes.
That's very good. This year our theme is going to be a night on the town, and we just today heard about one of the incentives that Benny and Stacy Scott are putting in, which is a night on the town for 4 people, and you'll have a driver that will drive you to 4 different places, and at the first place you'll have drinks, and the second place you'll have appetizers, and the third place you'll have dinner, and the fourth place you'll have dessert, and then they'll drive you back home afterwards. So people tend to have a lot of fun with the incentives, and those are the kind of things that are really kind of cool for a group of friends to get together and let's say, well, let's put our money together and then we can bid higher and get that. And all the money goes to the foundation, and the money that comes in from this event goes to grants that we make to schools and community organizations. So, for example, for Piqua High School, we helped buy band uniforms. We helped buy band instruments. We've helped buy some of the equipment that you guys use here at Indian Nation Station. We've bought science equipment. We've bought all kinds of stuff for the school, as well as helped to bring in authors and programs and stuff like that. And so the money that comes from the community goes back into the community. So we hope people will be generous when they bid and think about how that will really help the community out.
Also on Friday afternoon, probably around 3:30, we have a corporate challenge, which is really, really exciting. And so if anybody would be interested in coming out and watching that, that's something to see.
And what the corporate challenge is we usually have a couple of different businesses in town who decide rather than bringing in a cake and some kind of incentive, they bring in a cake, but their intention is to buy it back themselves at a really, really high price, and then they win the corporate challenge. So they don't have to go out and buy something for the incentive. Instead, all the money comes back to the foundation. So over the last few years, Unity Bank and Fifth Third Bank and Miami Valley Steel and Jackson Tube and some of the other companies in town decide they're going to outbid each other, and they kind of get into a little bidding war, and it really is kind of fun. And then they get to take the cake back, and all their employees get to eat it. But then the foundation.
They always bring several people, which is fun.
Yeah.
That's from the corporation.
A little bit of smack talk going on,
Yeah.
people
That
trying to get
raises
into
more
it.
money, too.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does, absolutely, which is the good part for us.
And how did last year's event go?
Well, we had 72 cakes last year with incentives. The proceeds for the event were over $20,000. So we had a very, very good year. And
did.
we appreciate everyone that was involved in it last year and hope
Absolutely.
to see them again this year.
Yep. Maybe even more this year.
Maybe
That'd
more.
be good.
We can always set up an additional table to put more cakes on. We also have a cupcake. You can have a cupcake. You have to
Yeah.
have 12 cupcakes
Cupcake category,
as an
yeah.
entry. Yeah, and
So like a
those are
cupcake
kind of
cake?
fun. And a youth group. We're trying to really build on that this year.
So we already really talked about this year's theme. So we don't need to talk about that.
Well, I guess we could mention, though, that if people have another idea, they don't have to use the
Right.
theme.
Okay.
It's just sort of an optional thing if people.
And we've had just cakes that had nothing to do with the theme, but delicious, delicious cakes.
So is there anyone else that's covering this event?
Well, actually, this year, for the first time, Gonzo Radio and Indian Nation Station, of course, are involved a little bit with the event. I know that Gonzo Radio is going to be covering Thursday, the evening auction, and doing some Facebook Live with the cakes that are being auctioned at the time. So if there's anybody who doesn't know about Gonzo Radio, we can put the link on here, how people can click onto Gonzo Radio. And then WPTW, of course, that you can either listen on the radio on 98.1 FM or 1370 AM, or you can follow that streaming live as well. And I think we'll have the link on for you for that too, because I'm not sure I know that absolutely off the top of my head. But then we also encourage people, if they have the opportunity, to come out live and just see what's going on, because it is something that is very visual, and it is a lot of fun to see all the very colorful and creative cakes.
It is.
We're always shocked because people tell us ahead of time what the incentive's going to be, but they don't tell us what the cake's going to look like. So as they come in, it just really is so much fun to see, oh, look at what Fifth Third Bank did with their cake, or look what the Piqua City Schools did with their cake. So it is a lot of fun to be there live if someone's able to do that.
It's amazing what people come up with. And the bakers, the time that they put in baking these cakes, it's just amazing. I hope you make it out to see the cakes.
Oh, I'll probably be there filming.
I hope you are. I hope you are.
So is it for just Piqua as a community, or is it Miami County?
Oh no, in fact, we had some really serious bidders from Sydney last year that sat out at the mall and kept bidding this one particular cake up. So, as far as entering the cakes, most of the cakes do come from Piqua businesses, but some come from county organizations, from Troy or Covington, or somewhere around the county. But we do have cakes almost every year from Lehman and from some other organizations in Sydney, and we have bidders from all over the place. And as Marcia said, sometimes people are just walking through the mall that day and go, oh man, my son has a birthday today and this would be great, and they bid on it that way. So bidding is totally open to anybody. You do have to come and get your cake live and in person that evening, because we've been there at the mall for 2 days, and we're not going to stay around till Saturday.
We're ready to leave, so come get your cake.
Yeah. So people that get a winning bid do get a phone call, and they need to come out yet that evening and pay for the cake, either cash or credit card or check or something. But yeah, it is something that really we would love for people from anywhere to come and be part of it.
And we have a real nice place people can pick their, park in the mall out by Penny's. There's an entrance back there, and they can just pull right up there, and there's people that can help load their cakes.
That's a good point. We do have people that help load the cakes and incentives into their cars, because one of the incentives we get every year is a propeller from Hartzell Propeller, and it's a propeller. It's a 6 or 7 feet. So it's really nice to have those extra helpers to help you load those kind of things up. But yeah, they're there to help, and that way you don't have to try and figure out how to carry it through the mall and get it out to the parking lot.
Come back 2 and 3 times to get your things.
Exactly, yeah. So it works out really well.
Yeah.
So what's like the highest bid you've ever had on the cake?
Oh, wow.
Oh, gosh. One year we had, a lot of this is based on the incentive, but one year we had a gingerbread house that was made by someone who bakes in the National Gingerbread Bake Off, which is held in North Carolina every year. And she made this gingerbread cake house thing and it was Mullenbrock and Associates that entered it, and it looked exactly like their office. They had sent pictures and she made it. And then the incentive was that you got to go to North Carolina and see the cake, whatever year that was, the gingerbread cake bake-off. And they had a couple of nights in a really neat hotel down in North Carolina, and tickets to get into the Biltmore House and all kinds of stuff. And I think that one went for more than $2,000.
Oh my.
But the corporate challenge cakes sometimes even go higher than that,
Right.
because they're making a donation to the foundation. And so in order to outbid each other, and they don't even get any incentive, but we've had those go as high as $3,000 already.
Wow.
So it's pretty exciting when we get a bid like that. We thought it was a
Right.
typo at first, but no, it was not. So it's all good.
Alrighty, anything else?
I think that's it. We just
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
remind you of our website,
Right.
which is www.piquacommunityfoundation.org, and our phone number is 9080.
Right, and that's the number to call now, but that's not the number to call on the day of the event. And you can find that, as we said, there are going to be posters all over town. There are going to be sheets around town that show all the cakes and incentives that have the number to call that day. So make sure you check that out, because if you call the office number that day, we're not there.
Yeah.
We're at the event. So we really appreciate you guys giving us some time to explain the event, and we hope that everybody that watches this comes out to check it out this year.
Yep, thank you.
Thank
for
you,
coming in.
Morgan.
You're
We'll
welcome.
be there.
Good.
We'll be there. Thank you guys.